Stuart's that extra week allowed you to work with some of the guys, think Calum Butcher.
Yeah, it's another week, and getting closer to full fitness for the likes of Calum. It's another week moving guys like John Obika in the right direction. We managed to get ourselves a bounce game on Sunday morning. So when the game was cancelled and we were trying to put other plans in place, we managed to just in-house between ourselves bring in a lot of the young lads as well, just to complement it and give us the 22 players. And we managed to get a 60-minute bounce game, which was really beneficial for us, because you don't want to be getting into your next one undercooked, your next game undercooked. So we've had a bounce game against Rangers the week before, and we managed to get that 60 minutes in, as well as numerous training sessions as well. So we feel it puts us in as good a place as we can be. Not ideal that you miss a week, of course, but we understand the set of circumstances surrounding it. So we're quite happy where we are and what we're doing. The slight unfortunate one that comes from it is Pap Suarez sustained what looks like a pretty significant injury. I'll not go into too many details on it at this minute in time, because we're going through that process of scans, x-rays, etc. But that from the Sunday was probably the major negative that comes about. And listen, we feel sorry for Pap. He's been numerous weeks trying to get back for a calf injury. He was looking really good, he was looking really strong, but unfortunately takes a step back at this minute in time. And we'll support him, and we'll make sure that he's got everything that he needs at this minute in time, and we'll get a full diagnosis of that and sort of take it from there.
Indications?
It's an ankle injury is what he sustained. So again, I think the guys here are very, very good at keeping the supporters and everyone else updated when there's an injury or people coming back from injuries. So it goes into that category, and it would be wrong of me to start telling you what it is or a period of time just now until I've got that from the experts.
Calum back for tomorrow then?
Yeah, Calum would have been in the squad last Saturday as well. He knows where he is. He's an excellent pro. He's a brilliant pro, he really is. He's probably one of those guys, if I'm being honest with you, that he's missed a pre-season. He's been out for 3 months or whatever it's been over that stretch. But he's a guy that knows his body inside out. He's a guy that understands what his levels are and how he gets there. And sometimes a wee bit different from some of the younger players, where you would say if you miss a pre-season, then it can be a bit of a disaster and you chase it for the rest of the season. He understands his position, what his role is within that position, and from that point of view, I think he finds himself in a good place, which is great for us. But it's not just what he does on the pitch; it's what he does off it as well. I've referenced that numerous times. He is a brilliant influence in our dressing room. I speak about him being sometimes that bit old school in terms of if he flashes his teeth and if he snarls at one or two people, then you can get a reaction. But I believe you need that in the game, and that's certainly part of his role in our squad. This weekend, would we see him being able to play 90 minutes? I wouldn't have thought so. Again, just a bit of respect for the time he's been out, but yeah, he's certainly training to a real good level, and we hope to see him back on the match day pitch as soon as possible.
Can Mika back for the squad?
Yeah, I think some of you guys maybe seen him coming in this morning, which is a real boost for us. He's been through a rigorous rehab with Arsenal. He's working with some of the best people that there are in terms of that medical side of things, and we've trusted that process, and we're delighted to get him back in the building today. I've just had a conversation with him there. He's in a real good place. It's always good when you have a lone player at a big club that is so excited to get back and get playing with you. He genuinely sees this as a real good stepping stone in his career. I think everyone had a little taste for what he might be about, and the kind of quality of player that he could be. We certainly believed that, and it was a blow for losing him for the period of time that we did. But with him coming back in today, getting him back on the training pitch today, I think it gives us another real boost, and I think it gives us another option up the top end of the park. But again, from his point of view, how much game time can he play? We're not 100% sure just now. That's going to be a case of assessing it today, tomorrow, and then we'll start to take it from there.
We're good to have him back in the squad.
Great to have him back in the squad. Yeah, as I say, young, exciting player. He was very well spoke about. I think he exploded onto the scene, didn't he, against Hibs, and we've got a genuine belief that that's the type of thing that he can do on a regular basis. So yeah, we don't want to put him in a bad spot, don't want to put him in a bad position by overdoing it at this minute in time. I think everybody has to understand that it's been a long time out, couple of months he's been out now, but he comes in looking really fit, really sharp, and as I say, another session to come today, and then we'll monitor and see how much that can be utilised on Saturday.
I think Ross County were unlucky to get something against Dundee.
I was at the game on Tuesday. I didn't, if I'm being honest, I didn't think there was a great deal between the sides. I think I'd read Tony Docherty's comments. It maybe looked as if they hadn't played for a few weeks. You know, sometimes that can be the case, trying to get back up to speed. I think there was good moments for both teams in terms of having chances. But I look at without getting embroiled in it, I look at the decision for the offside, and I probably side with, I didn't think Jordan White was doing too much at the time to put the goalkeeper off. But that said, you know, can you argue that a draw was a fair result? I thought that Dundee were really good in spells in the first half and created some good chances. So I didn't really see anything different. I've spent a lot of time looking at Ross County. Obviously, we've had plenty of time to prepare for the game, so I'd looked at a lot of footage over the course of the week. I've been to the game on Tuesday, and everything that I thought that I'd seen from, you know, their opening sort of 8 or 9 games of the season was pretty evident in the game against Dundee. So no real surprises in what I think they'll do, but that, I suppose that could change on Saturday depending on how Milky sees it.
So one of the challenges for you guys, because you've been not playing for a few weeks now as well.
It can be. I think I always talk about it being a situation where, you know, are you feeling fresher? Are you getting more players back? Have we missed weeks? Can it go stale? It's my job and the players' job to make sure that come 3 o'clock on Saturday that we're in a good spot and we know what we're doing, and we go and try and play at the levels that I believe we have been for a long period of time now. And I think if we do that, it's always very generic from me, but I think that we give ourselves a chance in the game. And so no, I've not got any concerns that we come out and we look a wee bit sort of lacking in match sharpness, or the fact that we've not trained, because we've been working exceptionally hard. We've been working really hard towards whatever our next game was. We thought it would have been last Saturday against St Johnstone, but it turns out it's Ross County this weekend, and we're going to a spate of games, I think 5 games in 2 weeks, and I look forward to it. I think we're just desperate to get the ball rolling again, the competitive action, and I know the players are sort of chapping at the bit as well, so it's important that we try and utilise those games and try and see if we can amass some points along the way as well.
Just come back to perhaps situation. Obviously, Brodie Spencer's been playing left wing back, and he's, you know, I don't think it's his favourite position, but you wouldn't know with the way he's been playing. It must be good to have that, and obviously Georgie as well, the options you've still got.
Yeah, no, listen, it's a blow to lose Pap. It definitely is, but you're right. It's probably an area that we do have a bit of cover. Georgie coming in and playing on his, you know, on the left side with his right foot, but he's been excellent for us. I think Brodie coming in on that left side has been excellent, but we always knew that he had a versatility when he came in. He performed well. It would have been easy to put in the natural left footer, but probably for me to do that at the time, I would have been taking somebody out of a slot in a position that they'd been performing at a real high level. So Brodie's been excellent. Georgie's been training really well, and has undoubted quality, and something that we think we can throw in there, given an opportunity as well, especially on that front foot with his deliveries. So no, it's a blow to lose one, but I think it is a position at this minute in time, unfortunately I suppose for Pat, that we do have a bit of cover.
In the striker situation, obviously that you were, you know, limited to having one fit striker for a while. You had to play one up front, whereas last season you were always 2 up front. Does that give you food for thought, the way it's worked out with, you know, Blair and Spittle and Calum started supporting the one striker? Does that give you food for thought, options as well? You can now put 2 up front.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think the system that probably a lot of people were waxing lyrical about, and rightfully so, in terms of how we played with striker and 2 advanced midfielders. I always spoke about being versatile, and I always spoke about having something else up my sleeve. That was something that I'd always looked to. But I think just now with the personnel and the options that we have, with their profile, with the player's profile, it now gives me a chance to be able to flip during games. It gives me a chance to maybe start with something different, or stick with what we had that was looking really good at times. I refer back to Tynecastle and playing with that one striker with the 2 supporting midfield players. It just gives us a chance to be a little bit more unpredictable, which is what I always wanted to get to. I suppose my hand was forced a little bit in that at one point I think we had one fit striker, But yeah, as I say, between myself and Stevie Frail and the guys in the analysis department, we always had this feeling that we had the personnel and the ability to do different things. So like I say, I do believe in being versatile, I do believe in being unpredictable, and I think that just starts to give us a little bit of a chance to maybe set up and start a different way. Most managers and coaches will tell you it is only your starting position, so how we evolve from that during a game of football is something, but to be able to look to your bench and know that you've got good quality on it's always a good thing for a manager as well. And I'm fairly certain that come Saturday we'll be in that position where there's sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 options that I can make changes on the bench, which is nice for me, because I've not really had it too often over the course of the season. I'm not being disrespectful to some of the young lads, but maybe too early for one or two of them, so they're getting that experience being on the bench. But for us as a football club, it's been terrific. I think there was one week that we had 7 or 8 teenagers involved in our squad, and I think that's a brilliant place to be for Motherwell. But now we have a wee bit more experience added to that.
Sure, you mentioned that you've got a number of games coming up. How much of a test is that going to give for the squad? It's going to be kind of use all of it?
Nah, I just look forward to be honest with you, because this bit of theory, this bit of training and weeks of the international football, as good as that's been for us as a nation recently, I just think that we're all in this game for one reason. We look forward to that match day, that adrenaline buzz of trying to get 3 points, the pressures that come with it. So the fact that there's a number of games coming in a short space of time, I always look forward to it. I always did as a player, I do as a manager, and again, it's my job to ensure that the players are in the same position, that they're relishing the opportunity, the opponents we play over the next 2 weeks, and the quick succession of the games, and you can get yourself into a good place as well. If you can start getting into a rich vein of form, then it's a good place to be. So that's how my mindset always goes, and I'm always the optimist. I'm always one that's always looking forward to it, rather than seeing it as a chore. And if we have to delve in and use a large number of players along the way, then so be it. That's why you have the ability to make 5 substitutes in games, etc. So I look forward to it.
Let's go to home here on Saturday. How big are chances are to get 3 points, and how important is it at the moment?
It's a home game. We would say that we've been so competitive against everybody we've played against at home. We've had a real good record up into the last couple of away games as well. But Ross County at home, it becomes a good game for us, in the sense that we as a football club have decided to go into it's a kind of family fun day. We're encouraging people to come along, to bring their friends. There'll be a bit of engagement with myself, the staff and the players before the game, which was something we'd done last season, and it was great. It really was. It was a terrific day. It was a situation where you feel as if you give a little bit back to the supporters as well. I know the staff have something set up in a kind of outdoor area just alongside the main stand there as well. So again, I would encourage everybody to come along to that, but it's going to be a keenly contested game. It's going to be 2 teams that are in a similar position in the league, similar number of points, but with home advantage, and with the fact that we do feel as if we've been playing well, then we feel we give ourselves a chance, and hopefully we can get 3 points and try and make it a real worthwhile day for the football club.
When you look at recent results, Stuart, can you put your finger on maybe what's not been hitting your standards?
I think we've dissected this. Probably what I would say is, in football and the media and the press and everything, we do look at the facts of we're not winning 4 games. I don't shirk that, I don't hide from that at all, and rightfully so. Listen, that is the facts. But I think if we break it down as a football club, we probably had 45 poor minutes against Livingston, where we were down to 10 men. It became a bit of a challenge. We're trying to drag ourselves back into a game, so it would be very easy for me to start to say that it's not good enough and start shouting off the odds and not being constructive in my criticism and all the rest of it. That's not how I see it. I see that we had 45 poor minutes against Livingston when we were down to 10 men, and we were seriously up against it on an AstroTurf pitch where the conditions were challenging and all the rest of it. Not excuses, very, very simply, we should never have been down to 10 men. We should have been better organised, but I'm not going to start going into the realms of we haven't been good for that stretch. I think what we can do and what we need to do is, when we create those chances and when we start to get into good areas in the final third, we need to look to be that wee bit more productive, because we have had a lot of chances in those 4 games against real good opposition as well, and we just have to be that little bit more ruthless, and that's probably the bit that I would cap it off with, and that's something we'll target when it gets to Saturday.
it's not down to one player, of course, but having Mika back, is he going to real miss for the squad?
Yeah, it's, you could argue Calum Butcher has, Park Swari has, all these guys that we've been missing over this stretch. It's been difficult. Connor Wilkinson's been out for a while. He'll be somebody that adds a lot to our group and a lot to our squad. So yeah, we've not had our challenges to seek, but I think that we've been pretty admirable in our work within that, with the shortage of numbers that we've had. I think I laughed last week when I seen our group warming up on the Friday before what would have been the St Johnstone game, and it starts to look like the cast of Ben Hur, as opposed being really sparse in their numbers. So that's a positive sign for the football club, testament to the work that the medical guys have done, and I sincerely hope, and I touch wood, that we can sustain that and keep those good options in our squad.